Hello, my name is Pepe Lam. Today, I'll be going over one of the features of IBM Storage Protect for Cloud Azure, Active Directory Recovery. In another video, I went over how to configure the backup scopes for Azure Active Directory. This video will show how to restore users, groups, and enterprise apps using Storage Protect for Cloud Azure. One thing to note, in this video, the user interface still displays the old name of Spectrum Protect Plus Online Services. We are working on updating the UI to the new name of Storage Protect for Cloud. Since my Azure Active Directory is backed up, let's go through the restore process. First, I'll be going over how to restore user accounts. I'm going to first simulate a scenario where a user is deleted in Microsoft 365. If I go to the Microsoft 365 admin console and then go to the active user list, it'll show me all the active users in Microsoft 365. I can select the user here, and then I can hit the delete user button. I can also do this through the Azure Active Directory portal. Here I'm going to go to the all users list, select the user, and then from here I can hit the delete button. Next, I just have to confirm that I want to delete the user, so just hit OK. And from here you'll see that the user has been successfully deleted, but they're still showing up in the all users list. So what I have to do is navigate over to the deleted users list, hit refresh, and then soon the deleted user will show up in this list. From here, I can also permanently delete this user account, but I really don't have to since this user account will eventually expire in a month and then they will be permanently deleted. If I go back to Microsoft 365, refresh the active users list, you'll see here that the user is now gone. This user might have been deleted on purpose or by accident. While this user is in the soft delete window, they can still be restored from here. Now, I'm going to permanently delete this user account from Azure AD. If they are permanently deleted, they'll be removed from the deleted users list and also removed from the all users list. So as you can see here, I just permanently deleted this user account, and they won't show up in the deleted users list. And if I go back to the all users list, they are also gone from this list. Now, let's say I want to bring the user account back. This is where Storage Protect for Cloud Azure comes into the picture. To start the process of restoring the user, first I'm going to click on Restore, then click on Azure Active Directory. Next, I want to click on Recovery Point. Now, Azure Active Directory backups are taken once a day. This environment that I configured, I don't have that many backups, but in a normal environment, you'll see more backups. Luckily, I have a backup from yesterday to restore from. If I click on that backup, it'll go into more details about the backup. So I'm going to go to the drop down for object type. I'm going to select users. And here's a list of all the users that were backed up in this backup job. Now, if I select the user, I have a couple different options. One, I can download the user's information in a zip file, and it'll come with a PowerShell script that can be used to restore the user's account to Active Directory on-prem. If I wanted to add this user back to Microsoft 365, I can just hit the restore button. This screen will show all the user's properties, and hitting this button will show additional properties. Now, if I hit the next button, it'll bring me to the next screen in the restore wizard. This screen goes through the different restore options. I can select how to handle conflicts in the event that the user account still exists. Now, the default option is to skip the restore. The merge option is useful in cases where an existing user has some changes in their properties and want to reset it, or something was changed and the old property value is missing. Merge will work with any fields that can take new information. The overwrite option will remove the user from Active Directory and rewrite it completely. Since I know this user was permanently deleted, I'll just leave it at the default. Here, I can set a new password for the user account. And this checkbox here will also force them to reset the password at first login. Now, as I scroll down, there's also a description section that might be useful as part of the job history. Then I can click Next. Here is where I can review what is being restored in this job. Once I'm satisfied with this restore job definition, I can click the Restore button. Now the restore job has started, and I can go to the job monitor to view the restore. So I'm just going to wait for the job monitor to display the restore job. So I'm going to refresh the job monitor until that restore job shows up. And I'm going to refresh it again. It's still not showing up, so it should show up soon. And there it is. I can see that the restore job has started, so now I have to just wait for the job to complete. Now that the job has finished, I can see that the restore was successful. If I go back to my Microsoft 365 portal, go to the active user list, I can see that the user has been restored. I can also confirm that the user account shows up in Azure Active Directory portal. So I'm just going to refresh, and there it is. The user has been restored. As you can see, restoring a user is very simple with Storage Protect for Cloud Azure. Just select the user to restore, set a couple restore options, and just wait for the restore to complete. The next type of restore to go over is restoring groups. So I want to navigate back to Restore, select Active Directory, hit Next on the recovery point, and then select the backup that I want to restore the group from. And here, change the drop-down for object type to group. And there's a filter that makes it easier to locate exactly what you're looking for. There's also an option to select multiple groups, and then you can click this restore button, or you can select the restore for a specific group. The next screen in the wizard shows all the properties of the group. This also shows the additional properties. Now, once I hit Next, it will bring up a similar option to the user restore. Here you can select how to handle restore conflicts. Like users, by default you can skip it, but there are options to merge or overwrite. The only difference between the user and group restore options is that for groups, there is no option to reset the password as there is for users. I also have the option to add a description to the restore group. Here, I just have to review all the options and confirm everything is correct before I hit the restore button. Once I hit the restore button, I can just go to the job monitor page to view the status of my group restore job. So I'm not going to kick off a group restore job at this time. So I've covered user and group restore. The last type of restore for Azure Active Directory is app registration and enterprise application. So I'll go to Azure AD, click Next on the recovery point, select the backup that I want to restore from, and for the object type dropdown, there's the options for app registration and enterprise application. If I go to my Azure portal, you'll see separate sections for both. Enterprise application lists the instance of the apps that can run in your tenants. App registrations are like the templates that are stored in AD for any versions of that app or instance of that app that can run in your tenants. This is why they can appear separately. There's an option to select multiple enterprise apps or app registration. You can use this button for multiple selections. You can always select the restore button for the specific app. Going to this page, you'll see the properties for the application, and hitting the button will show the additional properties. The next screen in the wizard goes over how to handle conflicts. The options are similar to users and groups. It has the option to overwrite or merge, and the default option is to skip. It's just missing the password section that was available for user restores. Once I hit Next, I can review the application restore settings before starting the restore. Similar to users and groups, you can go to the job monitor to review the restore job status. Thank you for watching this short video on how to run Active Directory restores, which include users, groups, and applications in IBM Storage Protect for Cloud Azure.